So this is for annuity. So what is the accumulate value of a payment? 6,000 every 6 months for 16 years with interest of 7% compounded semi-annually. So medyo obvious ito na yung semi-annually ay pareho lang sa 6 months. So pareho lang yung ibig sabihin yan. We have semi-annually, M is equal to 2. So we are looking for the future amount. So future amount is equal to the annuity. This is multiplied by 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. So this is an ordinary annuity. We're looking for the future amount. Alright, so this is more of direct substitution. This is n is equal to, good for 16 years. So you have the future amount. Future amount, so the annuity, this is 6,000, okay, multiplied by, we have 1 plus, the given rate is equal to 0.07, this is divided by 2, this is raised to, and good for 16 years. Kaya lang, every year, long 16 years na yan, meron tayong dalawang semi-annuals. Multiplied by 2 minus 1 divided by, this is 0.07 divided by 2. Okay, so let's determine the value of the future amount. Okay, the answer is equal to, we have 344,000 7.01. 344,007.01. So basic choices, it will be letter D. Okay, next example. So a self-employed engineer wants to get a lump sum of 5 million pesos when he retires at the end of 25 years. So yung 5 million yan will be a future amount. How much in pesos should be deposit every end of 3 months in a fund that gives an interest of 10% compounded quarterly? So again, kapag annuity yung usapan, ang kailangan nyo lang i-observe dito is dapat yung mode of payment pareho lang sa mode of the given rate. So obviously, every 3 months, pareho lang yun sa quarterly, wherein M is equal to 4. So hinahanap lang natin dito yung annuity. Okay, so kung pareho lang yung dalawang ito, you have to do is direct sum. We have the future amounts, so the annuity, this is multiplied by, we have 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. So future amount of 5 million, this is 5 times 10 raised to 6, equal to the annuity, this is multiplied by 1 plus, yung given nominal rate is 0.10, compounded quarterly, divided by 4. Good for 25 years, so 25. So kada isang taon ng 25 years na yan, ay may 4 na quarter. Times 4 minus 1, is divided by 0.10 divided by 4. So we are solving for the amount paid every 3 months. So that will be equal to, so kailangan nyo magbayad ng 11,559.39 every 3 months. So yung sagot natin dyan is letter B, that is boy. Okay, next example. Okay, so isa ito sa mga passboard na lumabas noong unang panahon. So find the difference between the sums of an annuity due and an ordinary annuity for the following data. Periodic payment is 10,000. Yung payment interval is every year. So number of years, we have 20 years. Interest rate is 12%. compounded annually, or that is the same as the effective rate. So, paano ba kunin yung future amount? Ay future amount kapag ordinary annuity. Kapag ordinary annuity, future amount is the annuity multiplied by 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. So, ganito lang siya kapag ordinary. Yung second is, we have yung tinatawag natin na annuity due. That is annuity multiplied by, we have 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. Kapag annuity due, ano lang gagawin? May multiplier lang tayo ng 1 plus I. Kumbaga, isang cycle pa ng interest period. So, hinahanap natin yung difference. Okay? So, ito yung ordinary. Ito naman yung annuity due. So, sino sa kanila yung magbibigay ng mas mataas na value? That is the annuity due. So, kunin natin. So, let's say, future number 1 yung ordinary. Ito naman yung future number 2 yung future number 1. Yes, future number 2 yung annuity due. So, we are looking for, let's say, the difference that will be equal to future number 2 minus future number 1. So, annuity due, that is annuity multiplied by 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. Kapag annuity due, may multiplier lang tayo na 1 plus I. Minus ordinary annuity, this is annuity multiplied by, we have 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 divided by I. So, yun lang naman, yung ordinary formula for annuity. So, pwede natin i-factor out actually dito yung A, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 over I. So, ang may iwan lang is 1 plus I minus 1. Okay? So, if you have it, this is, magkano yung babayaran? That is, we have 10,000. Multiplied by 1 plus point, yung given rate, that is 0.12. Okay, good for 20 years minus 1 divided by 0.12. Okay, so pinactor out ko yung term na to, yung A, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 over I. Ang matitira na term is, we have 1 plus I. Yung natira na term is 1 plus I, 0.12. Okay, minus 1. Yung buong term na to, minus 1. So, we having the difference is equal to we have a difference of this is 86,462.93. Yeah. So, alam natin na mas mataas yung value ng annuity due kasi magte-take effect yun, or yes, magte-take effect siya ng mauna yung interest period ng annuity due compared to ordinary annuity. So, it's 86,463, letter A sa choices. Proceed tayo sa depreciation. This is straight line method. A building has a salvage value of 1 million pesos after 50 years. So, annual depreciation is equal to 2 million. So, using straight line method of depreciation, so una natin hinahanap dito, what is the first cost of the building? Next, what is the book value after 25 years? Kung babalikan natin, yung diagram for straight line method, okay, so supposedly, ito yung first cost at period 0. Ito naman yung N natin, this is let's say 50. This is 50 years. So straight line, this is the salvage value, this is the total depreciation. So supposedly by ratio and proportion, ito yung ating D sub R, ito naman yung book value at R. At R period. So, given yung annual depreciation, binigay niya as, gamitin ko lang siya as small d. Yung annual depreciation natin, obviously, yung small d hanggang maipon yung, let's say, dr. So, pwede natin gawin dito para malaman natin yung first cost. Okay, so how to compute for the first cost? Okay, so assume muna natin yung mga given values. Since given yung annual depreciation, assume okay, so assume muna natin R is equal to 1. Yung first year na lang muna yung consider natin. So, yung equivalent ng d sub R will be equal to the annual depreciation. Since isang taon pa lang naman yung usapan, equal yun sa 2 million na given. Since 2 times 10 raised to 6. Ano naman yung equivalent ng d sub n? Yung height na to, how to determine this height? That is the same as the first cost minus salvage value. So yung d sub n natin will be equal to first cost minus salvage value na given. That is 1 million. Say 1 times 10 raised to 6. So kung babalikan natin yung basic concept ng straight line method, ratio and proportion lang siya ng similar triangle. So is R, ito naman yung N. Kumbaga this is d sub N is to N equal to d sub R is to d sub R is to R. So ang equivalent ng d sub N, the equivalent of d sub N is first cost minus the salvage value. 1 times 10 raised to 6. Okay, that's the equivalent of d sub N is 2. Good for 50 years. Equal yun sa d sub R. That is yung annual depreciation. 2 times 10 raised to 6 kasi ang kinonsider lang natin is the first year. So, we'll be able to compute for the first cost. So, it's the same as 50 times 2 million plus 1 million. So, the correct answer will be the first cost of the building is 101 million. Okay, so 101 million. So in our choices, letter C. That's letter C. Yung next question kanina is, or yung follow-up question nyo ito kanina is, the book value after 25 years. Ayan. Ano ba yung book value after 25? So sabihin lang natin, book value 25. So what is the book value of the building after 25 years? So i-assume lang natin that is at R is equal to 25. Yun lang naman. Then ratio and proportion. Using similar triangles. Yun yung d sub n is to n is equal to the d sub R is to R. So what is our d sub n? D sub n is first cost. What is our first cost? That is 101 million. Okay, so we have d sub n is first cost minus salvage value. We have 101 million minus salvage value is 1 million. Good for 50 years. Equal to, kunin muna natin yung d sub R. That is d sub R. Assume lang natin R is equal to 25. So, ano yung depreciation after 25 years? So, lagyan lang natin ito as d sub 25. And that is the depreciation after 25 years. So obviously yung depreciation after 25 years is 50 million. Okay, so the total depreciation after 25 years is 50 million. Pero paano natin kukunin yung required? Paano natin kukunin yung height na to? Book value R, that is first cost minus depreciation. So yung book value R is equal to the first cost minus depreciation R. So, book value number 25 equal sa first cost na 101 million minus depreciation R, that is the same as 50 million. So, yung book value nito after 25 years is equal to 51 million. Okay, so yung sagot natin sa follow-up question is 51 billion. So, sa choices, it is letter A. So, choices. So, yung isang paraan, the ratio and proportion of similar triangle, but using canon, yung bagong calculator, so sabi ko nga sa inyo last time, is yung calculator na to kaya niyang gawin yung design sa 570 ES+. So, pwede natin siyang gawin sa mode stat. Doon muna tayo sa mode stat tayo. So sa mode stat, that is number 3. Tapos, yung susunod doon is 2. Ang nag-appear lang sa calculator is yung LIN, which means linear. So number 2 yun. So lalabas yung columns natin for X and Y. Maglagay lang tayo ng data. At 0, yung year, ano yung value ng property, yun yung first cost. That is yung 101 million. Our first cost. So 101 times 10 raised to 6, 101 million. After 50 years, ang value niya is yung salvage value natin na 1 million. This is 1 times 10 raised to 6. So, lagay natin yung data. Okay, then, after natin maglagay ng data is, sa Casio is AC. Dito naman, CA. So, all clear sa Casio, sa Canon, I think clear all. Okay, then, clear all. So, ano ba yung hinahanap natin dito? Hinahanap natin yung book value on the 25th year. So, type ninyo 25. Okay, so after typing 25, so shift, yan. Shift, tapos yung ups. So shift ups, then hanapin nyo for that is obviously number 8. Ito yung regression. So number 8. Then number 5 for the y hat. So number 5 tayo. So dapat yung nasa screen ng calculator is 25 y hat. That is the same as book value number 25. Then press equals. It is equal to the same as 51 million. Okay? That is kung paano gumamit ng mode stat using Canon F-789 SGA. Okay? Kapag straight line method at ang hinahanap ay book value. Next example, so this is capitalized costs. So a new equipment worth 500,000 pesos with a salvage value of 50,000 pesos must be replaced at the end of 10 years. If the annual maintenance required is 10,000, find the capitalized cost if money yields 5%. First cost, salvage value. So every 10 years, replace the equipment. Annual maintenance is 10,000. So yung concept ng capitalized cost, this is up to infinity. So let's say, dito yung ating first cost, yung annual maintenance. Then after, let's say this is from, after our year, let's say, kailangan mo ng additional value R to buy a new one para makabili ka ng panibago. So how to compute for the capitalized cost? Okay, so capitalized cost. So let's say that is CC that is equal to your first cost, kailangan yung first cost, plus, let's say, magkano yung kailangan mo para makabili ng panibago, that is R. This is divided by 1 plus I raised to, okay, kung ilang years, raised to R minus 1. Plus, okay, we have an annual maintenance, kapareho lang nito kung up to infinity, kapareho lang yun sa concept ng perpetuity. Perpetuity, present amount, is A over I. Okay, so I think more of direct substitution lang tayo. In most cases, kapag given yung salvage value, okay, makuha natin yung as first cost minus the salvage value. Di ba kasi kung yung lumang equipment, ibebenta mo ng 50,000, magkano na lang yung kailangan mo para makabili ng panibago? So that's the difference of the first cost, salvage value. So we have the capitalized cost is equal to first cost, 500,000 plus the first cost, this is 500,000 minus salvage value na 50,000, okay, divided by, we have 1 plus, yung given na rate is 0.05. To be replaced every 10 years. Minus 1 is plus, yung perpetuity that is plus 10,000, okay, divided by the given rate, 0.05. So what will be the capitalized cost? Capitalized cost will be equal to 1,415,541.175. No choices? Anong letter siya? So 1,415,541.18. So letter B. Still on depreciation. So an engineer bought an equipment of 800,000. Other expenses including installation amounted to 50,000. So yun yung ating total first cost, yung price ng equipment, then other expenses 850,000. At the end of its estimated useful life of 10 years, salvage value will be 10% of the first cost. Using constant percentage method of depreciation, what is the book value after 5 years? So constant percentage, this is the same as the declining Ang constant percentage method is a declining balance method. Paano kumuha ng book value nito? We have the book value R is equal to, okay, first cost divided by 1 minus K raised to R. Paano kumuha ng K, or that is the rate up? Depreciation, this is the same as 1 minus salvage value divided by the first cost. This is raised to 1 over useful life N. So kunin muna natin yung rate of depreciation. This is the rate of depreciation K is equal to 1 minus, or kunin muna natin yung salvage value. We have the salvage value is equal to 10% of first cost. 10% of first cost, we have 850,000. So yung salvage value, yun yung 85,000. Okay, meron na tayong salvage value. Kunin natin yung the rate of depreciation. We have K is equal to 1 minus salvage value is equal to 85,000. This is divided by first cost, 850,000. This is raised to 1 over N. 1 over useful life na 10 years. So ano yung magiging rate of depreciation? Okay, so the rate of depreciation is equal to 0.206. Kunin natin yung book value. Book value after 5 years, book value number 5 is equal to first cost, 850,000. 1 minus, ito, 0.206. That is good for 5 years. So raised to 5. So kunin natin, book value number 5. It is equal to, we have 268,793.60. Okay, so 268,793.60. So choices. So 268,794, letter A. So yun yung isang procedure natin, ay the common procedure. Pero pwede naman natin gamitan ito ulit na MODSTAT using the Cannon calculator. So again, 3, 4, stat tayo. So MODSTAT, then I think dun tayo sa number 6. So nakalagay dun is AB, tapos EX at P. So MODSTAT, number 3, then number 6. So lalabas ulit yung dalawang columns natin. Is the columns for X and Y. At 0, yun yung ilalagay natin dito is yung first cost equal to 850,000. Okay, so at N, useful life, that is 10. Yun yung ilalagay naman natin dito is the salvage value. 10%, that is the same as the 85,000. Tapos, okay, press clear all. So maglagay tayo ng data 0, 10, 850,000, 85,000. Clear all. Tapos, naghanap tayo ng book value number 5. So type nyo lang yung 5. Then shift, after 5 is shift ups. So number 8, regression. Tapos number 5, that is Y at. Yeah. So dapat yung nasa screen ng calculator is yung nasa screen ng calculator is 5 Y hat. Pareho lang ito sa book value number 5. So we have book value number 5 is equal to plus equals. So we have 268,793.6. Yeah. So pareho lang sa dito. This time lang naman using stat. Next example, a company bought equipment for 60,000, which includes installation, tax, charges. The equipment is expected to have a life of 16 years with a salvage value of 10% of the original cost. So determine the book value at the end of 12 years, money is worth 12%. Usually kapag given ito, is ang ginagamit na method is the sinking fund method. So sinking fund, kung babalikan lang natin yung depreciation diagram. Okay, so let's say, ito yung ating D sub R, ito yung book value R, salvage value. First, that is D sub N. So this is at period N, at period R, at period 0, this is the first cost. So kapag sinking fan method, wala tayong Caltech for this one, pero pwede natin gamitin muna. Okay, kunin muna natin yung equivalent ng d sub n. Okay, for the sinking fan method, equivalent ng d sub n is equal to first cost minus salvage value. Or the d sub n is equal to the annual depreciation multiplied by 1 plus n raised to n minus 1 over I. Yan. Formula ng future amount ng annuity. Tapos yung d sub r naman, d sub r is equal to the annual depreciation multiplied by 1 plus I raised to r minus 1 divided by I. Yan. So, paano ba kumuha ng, or paano ba natin makuha yung salvage value? So, according to the problem, salvage value is 10%, 0.10 of the first cost. That is of 60,000. So, meron tayong salvage value equal to 6,000. Makuha natin yung d sub n, the accumulated depreciation. This is d sub n is equal to first cost, 60,000 minus 6,000 na salvage value. Accumulated depreciation is equal to 54,000. Okay, kung mapapansin nyo, ano ba yung common dito? Ano lang ba nagkaiba? D sub n and D sub r. Common is D. So, kapag may D sub n ka, makuha mo yung annual depreciation, isa-substitute natin dito para makuha yung accumulated depreciation at r is equal to 12 years. So, pwede natin gawin na yung equation na to, that is the same as d sub n times I. This is divided by 1 plus I raised to n minus 1, supposedly equal to d, or the annual depreciation. That is the same as equal to the d sub r times I divided by 1 plus I raised to r minus 1. Pareho lang yung dalawang to, magkiba lang sila ng exponent. Raised to n kapag dito sa d sub n, obviously, raised to r naman kapag hanggang dito sa d sub r. So, pwede natin cancel yung I dito. What is our d sub n? This is 54,000 divided by 1 plus, ano yung rate? 0.12. Ilang taon? That is 16 years. Minus 1 is equal to, ano yung ating d sub r? Yung hinahanap natin, that is d at 12. Divided by 1 plus I, that is 0.12 raised to 12 minus 1. So, pareho lang yung denominator, mag-iba lang yung exponent. Kunin natin yung accumulated depreciation after 12 years. So, accumulated depreciation after 12 years is equal to 30,481.62. So, yan yung accumulated depreciation on the 12 a year. Paano kunin yung book value naman? Yun yung required sa problem na to. So, you have book value R is equal to the first cost minus D sub R. So, hinahanap natin, book value number 12. What is our first cost? This is 60,000 minus accumulated depreciation on the 12 year. We have 30,481.62. So, ito yung sagot. Book value number 12 equal to, we have 29,518.38. So that will be yung sagot for this problem. Proceed tayo sa example ng sum of the years digit method. So a machine costs 500,000 using sum of the years digit method of depreciation its first year depreciation cost is 100,000. So what is the salvage value when retired at the end of a fifth year? So hinahanap natin dito yung salvage value. So kung naalala nyo, paano ba kumuha ng depreciation for some of the years digit method, the SY, DN? So it's equal to yung depreciation on a specific year is equal to yung rate of depreciation of the specific year times the D sub N. Kung babalikan natin yung diagram for depreciation, this is D sub N, this is salvage value. So magkakaiba yung depreciation per year kapag SY, DR. Hindi yan constant. So nag-iiba yung value niya per year. So this is the first cost. Okay? So pwede na naman natin i-consider yung D1, that is the same as the first depreciation, assuming R is equal to 1. So hinahanap natin yung salvage value. Okay? So we have at R is equal to 1. Paano kumuha ng rate of depreciation? This is case of R. We have N minus R plus 1 divided by N over 2 divided by N plus 1. Or arithmetic sum lang up to N yung denominator. So ngayon, we have, that is the same as a D sub 1. So yung D sub 1, yung small d natin is equal sa capital D1 natin, or the total depreciation after a first year, is equal to K sub 1 D sub N. Okay? So given yung first cost, ano ba ulit yung equivalent ng D sub N? So alam natin na yung D sub N is first cost minus salvage value. So magda-direct sub tayo. Ano yung D sub 1? That is equal to 100,000. Equal to, ano yung K sub R? Paano kumuha ng K? That is N. What is our N? 5. Minus, the value of R is 1 plus 1 divided by 5 over 2. Ito yan. Multiplied by, this is 5 plus 1. Okay, multiplied by D sub N. Ano yung equivalent ng D sub N? That is first cost minus salvage value. What is our first cost? 500,000 minus salvage value. So in this equation, mapapansin niyo yung unknown na lang dyan is yung salvage value. So base value is equal to 200,000.